Hi, I'm Ben Manasic, independent mayoral candidate for East Ward. I'm here with my running mate, Sam Davies.
Yeah, really pleased to be working alongside you on the same ticket, Ben.
Thank you. What brought us together actually was the building behind us. It's a government services building that council is currently using. There's a proposal to replace this building and the math doesn't work out on it. Sam, do you want to give us a quick...
So my background was as a maths teacher and have qualifications in that area, been working in that area for a long time. And the maths just does not add up. And more sadly, the council officers involved, and I think the councillors themselves, to be honest, just don't understand the issue. Yeah. So they're voting on something that really hasn't been thought through properly.
Yeah, some of these rental numbers don't work. So let's get mathematical.
The council's saying they're going to borrow $50 million. Let's say they can borrow it at 5%, which is pretty generous. That'll cost $2.5 million per annum of your money. They're saying they're going to build this extra floor that's 10 million of the 50 million. That'll maximum will give us $500,000 back per year. Yep. So $2 million per year is coming out of your rates, out of your rubbish, out of your roads, out of your money, $2 million to build an apartment block, basically,
for the next 50 years or 48 years. Now, this money is actually getting split. So let's go a little bit further into the detail. So this $50 million, it's not just a single big loan. There's actually two components to it. You've got $40 million as a loan and $10 million coming out of cash.
The reality is, though, that $10 million we would have got interest for if it was left in the bank. Yeah. So effectively, it's a loan of $50 million.
Yeah. Or we're going to be doing capital investment with it, or we're going to be doing extra funds. So either way, it's going to cost us in the long term.
Or exactly, using the interest to pay for roads.
Yeah, that's right. So there is a cost to this, and let's assume it's 2.5, or even a little bit less than that with just the loan there. But regardless, you're getting, under their math, $600 per square metre. We've looked at the figures. We can't find any rentals that are around that figure.
Yeah, so this is the sort of ballpark of what you're likely to get in terms of square metres per annum in regional areas that are either actually Wallumbilla itself. Ben did the math, did the research.
Yeah, so these are the...
and I think that's roughly right. The 600 square metre might be accurate for places like Parramatta, but not Picton.
Yeah, now Sam and I actually knew about this prior because we rent places. Well, I used to rent for my stores. Sam currently does. The rent I negotiated was quite a lot smaller. The rent I'm hearing that Picton business owners and people that are renting office space in Picton is a lot less. They're worried about this. The figures were actually about 120, 150 square metre when you go into a 5 to 7 year lease.
And remember, that's the gross rent. Yeah. So you've got to pull out costs out of that. So let's be generous and let's say after costs you get 500 per square metre. So let's say the council gets 500 per square metre.
Which is $500,000 per annum, and that's paying off $2.5 million loan. So there's a deficiency here of $2 million.
We've got to come up with $2 million. The ratepayers that are currently living.
That's right.
We're not talking about in 20 years' time, once Wilton comes on board and Appin and so on. We're talking about now. Yes. $2 million comes out of your pocket.
Now, there was a statement that was made by the Mayor in the November meeting that $300 per square metre is going to pay off for half of the building. At max, $300 per annum is going to pay into council funds, $300,000. That's without any costs. Let's assume that pays off the loan. It's paying off $300,000. There's $2.2 million deficiency here.
So where are you going to get a loan that, if anybody knows, please let us know. If you can borrow $50 million and only pay $300,000 per annum, please let us know, because I'm sure all ratepayers in Wallumbilla will be keen to take you up on your offer. Doesn't add up.
So the cost of that actual difference is around $10 million initially, and what we're getting at best for it is a 3% return, which is actually a loss of money in the long term when you take on 50
So this is sort of saying we're borrowing an extra 10, so the government service building costs 40 million. The extra floor for this rental space is an extra 10 million.
Yep.
So the 300,000 per annum is effectively a return on the rental space that costs 10 million. So 300,000 divided by 10 million, 3%. Would be far better, obviously, to just leave the 10 million in the bank and take the 5 or 6% from the bank, wouldn't we? Put it in a term deposit.
There's no argument from us that we don't need a government services building. We've actually both said that at the community forum that the building might need fixing, the building might need replacing, the building needs to look at. But you have to look at that entire area. You've got from Margaret Street all the way to Menangle Street and the Corden Street. All of those area could actually be a government services precincts because you've got a lot of council land that's owned there.
And that's right, and we've got the art centre that's going up and so on. I mean, I think that's an area that probably is better used for the community, really. There's a lot of better uses. The problem is where they're saying that building's got to go, and perhaps why it ends up costing 50 million, is because we're getting rid of car park space. So you've got to dig down, build a car park underground. You've got to go up to fill that space. You've also got 4 facades that are viewable from either direction. So you've got to make the whole thing look brilliant. Whereas it's an office building. We've got plenty of space here. Find another block of land somewhere.
Or integrate it within the
put a simple building
own land that's there currently, because you've got IGA in the back of that area. It has not actually been looked at. So we've suggested alternatives to the mayor, despite him saying that he has heard no alternatives. There's a lot of different alternatives. There was alternatives moved at the council meeting. So there's councillors that are even saying this as well. We think that the council should be listening to this.
Sadly, when they did do a bit of an assessment of some alternatives, what they did was they pulled the building from where it is with its underground car park, plonked it on a vacant block of land with its underground car park and its 4 stories. Now that's absurd. Obviously you wouldn't do that. We live in a rural area. Land is one thing we've got. You'd have a normal car park, like those bulky warehouses, and you'd build it that way. Single facade and, concrete panel construction.
Yeah, that's right. So look, council needs to go back to the drawing board. We're being really reasonable about it. We're not going to give up. Our ratepayer funds are way too important for this. And we're looking forward to your support in this September.